All right, chapter 7. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we got 7, 8, and 9. All right. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of all clean animals, the male and his mate, and a pair of animals that are not clean." A lot of people think that Noah just took a pair of every animal, but he took 7 pairs of every animal that are clean, and then just a pair of the non-clean ones. So just remember that. It's a common misconception. And 7 pairs of the... Take with you 7 pairs of all clean animals, and the male and his mate, and a pair of all the animals that are not clean, the male and his mate, and 7 pairs of the birds of the heavens, also male and female, to keep their offsprings alive on the face of all the earth. For in 7 days I will send rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing that I have made I will blot out from the face of the ground. And Noah did all that the Lord had commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters came upon the earth, and Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with them went into the ark to escape the waters of the flood, of clean animals and of animals that are not clean, and of birds and of everything that creeps on the ground. 2 and 2, male and female, went in the ark with the Noah, as God had commanded Noah. And after 7 days the waters of the flood came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month of the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were opened, and rain fell upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day Noah and his sons Shem and Ham and Japheth and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them entered the ark. They and every beast according to its kind, and all the livestock according to their kinds, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, every winged creature. They went into the ark with Noah, 2 and 2, of all flesh, in which there was the breath of life. And those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. The flood continued 40 days on the earth. The waters increased and bore up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed so mightily on the earth that all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed above the mountains, covered them 15 cubits deep, and all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds, livestock, beasts, all swarming creatures that swarm on the earth, and all mankind, everything on the dry land, in whose nostrils was the breath of life, died. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed on the earth for 150 days. That's chapter 7 in the books right there. All right, so flood came, took out basically everybody who wasn't on the boat. Luckily, Noah got picked. He was a righteous dude, and God said, "Come on board with you and your family." Chapter 8. But God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the livestock that were with him in the ark, and God made a wind blow over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed. The rain from the heavens was restrained, and the waters receded from the earth continually. At the end of 150 days, the waters had abated, and in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, and the waters continued to abate until the 10th month, and in the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So the water's finally going down. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark that he had made and sent forth a raven. It went to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. Then he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters had subsided from the face of the ground. But the dove found no place to set her foot, and she returned to him to the ark, for the waters were still on the face of the whole earth. So he put out his hand and took her and brought her into the ark with him. So he's like sending a bird out. The bird comes. If the bird comes back with wet feet, he's like, the water's still not down. There's nowhere to land. I can't get out this boat. He waited another 7 days and again set forth, and the dove sent forth the dove out of the ark, and the dove came back to him in the evening, and behold, in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the waters had subsided from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days and set forth the dove, and she did not return to him anymore. In the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. In the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried out. Then God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you and your wife, and your sons, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing that is with you of all flesh, birds, animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may swarm on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with them, every beast, every creeping thing, and every bird. Everything that moves on the earth went out by families from the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took some of every clean animal and some of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on that altar. And when the Lord smelled the pleasing aroma, the Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground because of man, for the intention of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I ever again strike down every living creature as I have done, while the earth remains seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." So God was like, I'm never going to do that whole flood thing again. He's like, I get you guys are evil. We're just, I think he's going to, I can't speak for God, but he's like, I'm going to plan ahead a little bit better. I'm going to make sure this doesn't get out of hand like that again, like to that point where I got to wipe everything out, but you'll see. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every bird of the heavens, upon everything that creeps on the ground, and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. Every morning things that live shall be food for you. Live shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. And for your lifeblood I will require a reckoning. From every beast I will require it. From man, from his fellow man, I will require a reckoning for the life of man. Whoever shed the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image. And you, be fruitful and multiply, increase greatly on the earth and multiply in it. He's like, go have some babies, y'all. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, "Behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offsprings after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast of the earth with you, as many as came out of the ark. It is for every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you, that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth." And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make between you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth." So, fun fact, the rainbow is actually a biblical sign, and it is a sign that of God's promise to basically take care of us and never kind of flood the earth again. So it's like it's used for other purposes today, in today's day and age, to something totally like kind of not on the same path as God, is what a lot of people use that rainbow for today, but originally, totally biblical symbol and sign of God's covenant with us. I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it, and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all the flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah that this is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all that flesh that is on the earth. The sons of Noah who went from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these people of the whole earth were dispersed. Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk and lay uncovered in the tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his brothers on the outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both of their shoulders, and walked backward and covered their nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backwards, and they never did see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and he knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be to his brothers." He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So that is chapter 9. Well, I did all of them. Something I want to just talk about real quick. Very interesting thing when it comes to Noah. Like, he gets out of the boat and he's like, like when you've had a really long day at work and you're like, man, I really need a drink. Well, there is no alcohol to drink, so he just like planted a bunch of grapes and stuff to make wine, waited for all of those things to come about, then was finally able to have his drink, and he got drunk. The first thing he did was like, I got off the boat, I need a drink. He didn't have one that was there for him, so he literally made himself a drink, but like the long way, straight. Planted the grapes, tended the grapes, waited for the grapes to ripen, and then as soon as they ripened, he's like, dang, I've been waiting a long time for this. Got a little too drunk, and then ended up literally passed out. And then there's some debate over what's happening when it says the father, that he laid him covered in his tent, and Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers about it. Some people think that saw the nakedness of his father, like that part right there, is talking about like they saw their dad naked. Other people, scholars, believe that the phrasing of that thing is saying that they saw, when he's saying they saw their father's nakedness, it's really he saw his mom's naked body, because they're like one and they're together. So he's really talking about his mom. So there's some debate over there. Other scholars believe that it's not just saying that they saw the nakedness of the father. Some people believe that he did some stuff to his father while he was drunk. And other people think that he didn't do stuff to his father when he was drunk. When he came upon to his father in his nakedness, like I said, it was his mom. And then he took kind of his mom while his dad was drunk. So some kind of crazy things. But at the very least, he was passed out. And then there's some debate on that. I don't really know what happened exactly. I can't tell you 100%. I wasn't there, right? But just letting you guys know that those are kind of like the scholarly, theological differences where what people think may have happened, or what is being said at that moment. But at the very least, we can know for sure that Noah got off the boat and was like, I'm drunk, or I need a drink. And then he got really drunk. And then after that, some shadiness happened with Canaan, or with Ham, who ended up being the father of Canaan. But yeah, so those were 3 chapters in. We got we got this done so far, you know. Well, this is like with the intro and stuff, but kind of got the rest of this whole bad boy to get to. So yeah, we'll get to it. God bless, guys. Hopefully you're having an amazing New Year so far, or not so far. I hope you're having an amazing end to this year, and then we'll start into next year pretty strong, because we'll be hitting 10, 11, and 12 tomorrow in this reading. And then I mean, yeah, if you got any questions, just shoot them while I'm reading them, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or like when I see it, I'll try to stop after like every chapter. What is it used for? So that the rainbow, obviously, it was originally, as far as the Bible is concerned, intended to be a covenant between God and his people, but now it is, I mean, used for the LGBTQ community. They took a hold of it, and really didn't let it go. That's kind of their sign. They're running with it. But yeah, it was always it was at first, from as far as the Bible's been back, so like, you know, thousands of years. Never had anything to do with them. It was a sign of God's covenant between man and you know, the animals that got to spend, or that made it off the boat, saying that he's never gonna flood anything again, and that he's got them. But yeah, so God bless. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing New Year's. Don't end up like Noah, drunk somewhere, being taken advantage of. Make sure you get home safe, regardless of what you're doing. Don't drink and drive. And yeah, tune in tomorrow. I guess I'll see you guys next year. God bless.